This one has a lot of hair. This one has a normal amount of hair. It's Pat and Alex. This one was born in Raytown. This one lives in Raytown. They opened a store in the pandemic, and this is a show about it. Hussle and bustle. Hussle and bustle. Hussle and bustle.
Oh, that's awful. Well, and now we'll start.
Yeah.
Okay. Hello and welcome back to Hussle and Bustle. I'm Pat.
I'm Alex.
What another week here in lovely Raytown, Missouri, where we still have power.
Yeah, well, we lost it for like almost 2 days.
We did?
Our house did, not nearly Hussle. We had it the whole time.
Oh, that's hectic.
Yeah, it was rough.
So what did you have to eat your entire fridge, or I imagine that would have been your first inclination?
I thought about it. We actually ate a lot of it that night. But so like the storm ended at like 7:38, and then 8:30, 8:45 we lose our power. So it was like after the storm. It was super frustrating. And then we didn't get it back till like Sunday morning. Maybe it was Saturday night.
Oh, did it get hot?
Yeah, it got real hot.
Oh,
and
that
like
sucks.
all my plants I was super worried about. It was stressful. I didn't enjoy the storm. I'm anti-storm.
So, well, everybody should be anti-storm. Did you see the video of the microburst going through Waldo?
Microburst?
Yeah, it was just like some dude on his patio or porch or deck or whatever, and you just see like giant bursts of light like ripping through the trees and like houses in like Waldo.
Awesome.
It's not like Twister, like you don't see shit, like there wasn't a cow flying by, there's no like wood shrapnel, but you can tell there's like something crazy's going on.
Yeah. Act of God.
And then there's this dude, Jeff Passan, who's like, he's a baseball writer for ESPN. And he had a lot of followers, but you got to be a baseball nerd to know who he is. He lives here in Kansas City, and a tree limb fell on him, and he broke his back.
What?
Yeah.
Dude, a tree fell in a car like 3 cars in front of Caroline. She was driving home like in the very beginning of it. Yeah.
That's like Final Destination shit right
just
there.
kind of like slid that in the conversation. I was like, hold on.
So God almost killed me today.
Yeah. It was crazy.
That is, yeah. So what the weather's been, the earth seems angry.
It's been a wild week.
It's also, and bad for business.
Yeah, dude, real bad for business.
Dude, when it's shitty weather, people don't go shopping.
Yeah, it was significantly slower than one of our best months so far. And then
maybe we got to sell umbrellas. Maybe that's the trick to get business during bad weather.
Not a bad idea.
We're going to start selling umbrellas. So secondhand umbrellas. If you have any umbrellas to donate, bring them on down to 6317 Raytown Road. We will take those off your hands and then sell them to other people's hands.
You're welcome.
Did you see the other big thing? So I feel bad mostly for the people that during the power outage, because they probably didn't get to watch Quarterback, the Netflix documentary.
I've yet to see any episode.
Oh, that's sad.
I need to watch it though. Pat McAfee said it was good.
He did? Mm-hmm. Well, if McAfee likes it, then
yeah.
I would say so. 2/3 of it was great. Kirk Cousins, now a huge Kirk Cousins fan.
Yeah,
Jen loves him.
It's hard to hate him, I think.
Well, I didn't ever have any strong opinions about him whatsoever. He just seems like a milquetoast dude.
Yeah,
you know. But he is so fucking corny that it's endearing. So be prepared to fall in love with Kirk Cousins. And then Patrick Mahomes is awesome. We got to see the inside of that house that we talked about last week.
Oh, so it's featured in the documentary?
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
It's pretty sweet.
I love it. Is it brand new? Like, did they build it? Or
they built that bitch.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, it's awesome. So my dream is to get there somehow. I don't know how that's going to happen, but...
Just be a Postmates and just drive around.
I'll say this. This is not a spoiler thing. I think that this isn't, this isn't a
Does he win the Super Bowl?
Plot twist. Well, he does indeed win the Super Bowl. But they have huge parties at Mahomes' house, like, after every game.
Yeah, have to.
After every home game, he goes home, and then there's 40 people in his house.
That's like, what else? You can't go out. Like, I mean, no shots at KC, but like, we don't have the best nightlife at all. I like to party.
What? Funky Town?
Fuck it. If I'll eat my shorts if I see Mahomes partying.
Dude, that'd be dope, wouldn't it? Like him in the go-go cage?
Dude, yeah.
That would be dope. Hey, Kansas City Chiefs, anybody listening who knows anybody with the Kansas City Chiefs, Funky Town would be a really great like training camp preseason bonding.
Dude, yeah.
Outing
Get
for
the team together.
Yeah.
Everybody dress up, maybe buy some things here.
Yeah. Come up first, shop in Early Hustle, then go to Funky Town. Maybe grab some ribs,
Just
and
an
harps.
idea.
Just a fun idea. But yeah, quarterback. All of Kansas City's been watching it and like going crazy. I have finished it. It was fantastic. So I look forward to you watching it. Also, there is now a link out there. There's also Marcus Mariota's in it, and he is fucking dead boring. His entire fucking plot line is awful.
Even like he doesn't perform well, so it's not even like interesting watching someone lose.
Yeah, it was like sad. It was sad seeing him quit the team mid-season when he got benched.
Oh, he quit.
Yeah, like he just decided to get surgery on an injury that he'd been playing through because they benched him, and so never played for the team again.
Bummer.
Yeah. So I'm sad just talking about it.
Yeah.
But other than that, it was amazing. But someone put out already a link where it clips out everything except for Patrick Mahomes. So you can actually get that on the internet now if you just want to cut to the chase. What else is out there? It's hot as fuck.
Yeah,
Apparently
dude.
the hottest days ever on record are happening right now.
Yeah, apparently that's all the news I can hear. But some of it's annoying because they love to find the hottest places that have been so far this week. But it's in places like Death Valley and deserts, which just shouldn't be news. It's like, it's hot in the desert. We get it.
Right, but it's hotter in the desert than it's ever been in the desert.
Yeah, it's hot. It's been hot here. Don't get me wrong. But it's just, I'm tired of that being news.
You're really channeling your Forrest Gump look right now.
You think? Oh yeah, with the hat and hair.
Yeah.
I don't have it down often.
Where are you to your goal? Like you're doing this for Locks of Love. Give us a hair update.
Yeah, I need to re-engage that. I need to get it trimmed. It's not that it's in bad condition, but from what I hear from people with long-term long hair, they tell me you got to keep the ends trimmed, otherwise the split ends doesn't grow. I don't know. So I need to get in and have a hair specialist, barber person look at it. And
there's a barber college here in Independence nearby.
Dude, my parents took us to those as kids, and I'll one day maybe bring in some pictures.
Rough.
Yeah,
nice. Very nice. AI updates? You want to discuss some AI?
Yeah, we haven't talked about it in a long time. And so Sarah Silverman, I think is her name.
Yep,
Yeah.
comedian.
She's her and a few other authors and comedians are doing a joint lawsuit for, I think, against GTP.
For crawling their content, right?
Yeah. And it's whether you know who they are, you care about it or not, it's going to set the precedent for a lot of like human things. Like actually, what do you own? It's going to get into like creativity and ideas, more like intangible
Intellectual
stuff.
property.
Yeah, way more than any law has ever discussed.
Well, I think it's really mostly at this point likenesses, right? So like it's you're not just. So what I gather is they're saying that like if I wanted to, I could go to ChatGPT and I could say, give me a recording of Sarah Silverman saying this exact message, and I'm gonna record it for my friend. Okay, and then I get a recording, and Jen did this. Jen's brother from another mother. I don't know how to say this. Her good friend that like grew up with them.
Okay.
In the house and stuff. It wasn't their actual brother. Bought a gift for Rob's brother for his birthday.
Okay.
And it was AI. He went and like had Patrick Mahomes create a Patrick Mahomes message that would be like a cameo saying, "Hey Rob, happy birthday," and it was like all these jokes, right? But it was AI generated. Patrick Mahomes was not involved whatsoever, right? So now these types of things are happening. So like that is Sarah Silverman would say that you're using my likeness. Which you are getting from crawling my content without paying me for in any way, shape, or form, and you're creating a sellable product and making money off of my likeness.
Yeah.
And that's what she's suing for, essentially.
But it's like that makes sense. But like if a human were doing it, it'd be difficult to.
That'd be like saying, is a human impersonator doing the same thing?
That was my first thought. And I'm sure there's like
are Elvis impersonators infringing on Elvis's intellectual property or likeness?
His music and videos, and now perform and act just like him and make money from it.
Right.
So like, but exactly. So like, this would set the precedent. Like,
but here's the deal: AI doesn't have any freedom, and it shouldn't have any freedom. And so I don't feel bad for protecting AI. I guess you'd be saying you're protecting the freedom of the people who create AI to have the personal freedom to be able to create an impersonator robot.
Yeah, like if I think of an ad idea and I want Will Ferrell to be in it, but he says no.
Should I be able to just create an
I have the freedom to make my
Ferrell?
idea. Yeah. So I mean, it.
Yeah,
There's
I
going
obviously
to
think
be-
you don't, and I think that's ridiculous. And I think that like right now that doesn't apply to like I couldn't draw a sketch of Patrick Mahomes and say get an AI audio of Patrick Mahomes and have him endorsing Gnarly Hustle and put that on ABC. I don't think that would clear FCC rules and violations. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah. I don't know. We could do it, and then he would sue us, and then they would have to find it out. Like there isn't a law about it. Like that's what's happening.
So where do you land on this?
I don't know. I don't know. Like a lot of these things, it's down to like how do you enforce it, and that's what gets scary for me.
Yeah.
Like it's a hard thing to track down and enforce, and like what are the external implications once you make a decision?
I don't think it is that hard to track down and enforce. Would be my guess.
I don't know. Maybe
It's the internet. Can't you figure out the source of where something comes from? Like that is like a video or
like it reads.
How do they get child
thousands of
pornography?
things an hour? Like it's hard to. I don't know. Maybe it's going to be difficult to enforce. I think like no one knew it did it until she asked these questions and got responses that were so similar that the only answer would be it read her book. Like no one. I don't even think they knew it read it. You know, it just had access to spaces and it read it and without like asking permission. So like it's.
I don't know specifically that much about the case. I guess I'm just saying in general, like, should robots be able to steal your intellectual property and your likeness, reproduce it, and then humans make money off that? The humans that engineered those robots. To me, that's a simple answer. No.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it gets easier, I think, with the actor's case in Hollywood. Like, I think this is one of the sticklers of why they didn't accept the deal was like future likeness of background, and maybe all actors would be able to
Like
be
Tupac
recorded.
hologram concerts. Is Tupac's estate getting any money?
Oh, they
for
have
that?
to.
Somebody needs to be.
Yeah.
So you would think that's exactly what this is bringing to court for the courts to decide right now.
Yeah.
So that's why it's a watershed thing.
Yeah. And like it's easy to point a finger at the studios and the executives, like they own my likeness. But in like this case specifically, like
You don't
suing
get to
ChatGPT.
own. No studio owns Sarah Silverman's voice.
Yeah, I know. But like that's what like these deals that they're signing, at least the way I understood it, is with the actors, is that background actors, like if they performed in a movie, and what they do now is like you're a background actor, and if there's a scene that needs like 10,000 people, they'll just insert you, maybe a few, like alter you and digitally insert people into the background.
Yeah.
Once they do that for you in that movie, then they could go to other movies and insert you in the background, and you'd never have to like get paid for it.
Right. So it's like all AI, right? Like why is AI a thing at grocery stores? It's so they can eliminate the liability of employees and the overhead of employees.
Yeah.
So that makes sense.
That's easy, but the ChatGPT one I think is a little
Speaking
more
of movies
convoluted.
and AI, Oppenheimer is coming out, dropping this week, which is about the invention of the atom bomb. And I've been hearing a lot lately on podcasts that they think that the next election could be the atom or the Hiroshima or Nagasaki of AI.
Okay.
So like even the guy who did it, I guess I can't think of his name. Is it James Cameron? I think is the director of Oppenheimer. Maybe whoever made
It was a Nolan movie, wasn't it?
Yeah, Christopher Nolan.
Yeah.
Christopher Nolan. Okay, thank you for that. Would have been a bad one. He went on record saying that he hopes that this is like a cautionary tale for people in the AI industry, because AI, they say, once it's out of the bag, like we can't
Pandora's box.
There's still I guess we've reduced like the amount of nuclear weapons in arms in the world are known, at least by like 2/3.
Yeah.
Through treaties and all this other work since the Cold War. But there's still tens of thousands of nuclear warheads, enough to ruin the entire world.
Way more
several times
powerful.
overall.
Probably 10,000 more times powerful than the ones that are in the movie.
Right. So, I guess the people I've been listening to, they're AI experts and are in that tech space, are saying that one of them is predicting that by the end of the year, the U.S. election will be that because of the miscommunication and misinformation.
Yeah.
And like what we just talked about, like Biden deep fakes, like
Yeah.
I think those are probably already out there. I've heard videos of him like saying and doing things.
The Republicans released an ad like 2 months ago that had fake pictures of Biden and Harris on it.
Oh,
like
okay.
it was fake AI generated like post-apocalyptic images of American cities,
right,
depicting like this is what the world looks like and after the Biden election if he wins. And
now, like it's tough to talk about this stuff because like we don't want to get political, especially certainly we don't want to ever talk about the U.S. political like presidential race on here.
Yeah,
but like the Oppenheimer moment. Oh, this is good. Gesundheit.
Thank you.
The Oppenheimer moment, I think they're talking about here, the Hiroshima Nagasaki moment with the election is like, all right, allegedly, I've heard this narrative that like Putin's best chance to survive is for Trump to win because of some kinship that they share, that would Trump would stop providing aid to Ukraine, and without American aid, and weaponry, Ukraine would not probably be able to withstand Russia over the long haul. So that means that like that war right there has also been told to be the narrative that like this is the stop, like this is World War III, right? If Russia's invasion stops at Ukraine and they don't win, then we might be able to prevent World War III. But if they are allowed to take Ukraine, then World War III might be imminent, right? And then people are like China may be looking at this as a bellwether to say, how does the world respond to this? Because we want to take Hong Kong, right? Have you heard all these things? None of this is coming in as completely
I've
foreign.
heard like some of it. It seems very like...
So this is what the negative side of AI is saying right now.
I think there's way more realistic and way more dangerous implications than like those externalities.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Like, you don't think like World War III starting is a negative enough externality?
Well, I mean, like if like let's say,
or like just deciding that war. I mean, that's a pretty negative externality. If AI determines that war, right?
Well, I think it's a very American centralist view. Like we play a huge part in this, and we donate a lot, but it is. We're not like the deciding factor. Like there's a lot of variables going into this war.
I don't know what percentage of foreign aid Ukraine gets.
It's large.
No, I don't know what percentage of the United States of the foreign aid that they get is from the United States, but I'm pretty sure it's my understanding and is that it's enormous. And then I'm saying that with saying I don't have a great understanding.
Yeah, neither do I. And yeah, but like yeah, like I think there's far more like scams, like just the rate of scam and phishing things. I think will have a more. I don't know. Like I get what you're saying. I guess I just want to disagree with you, but
yeah, I don't know. I'm not putting forward this as the narrative. I'm just saying this is the narrative that one of the narratives I'm hearing.
Without a doubt, the election is going to be crazier than you and I could like sit down and predict it will be.
Well, if you're in this scenario, all right, which I'll just tiptoe towards it, but like Putin is in war, a war that he should have been winning. Everybody perceived that they would have won easily, and they haven't.
Yeah.
And his life may be at stake. You think he may be in the desperate realm.
Yeah.
And Trump facing maybe 3 or 4 indictments, may be in the desperate realm. I mean, they're going to cross any line that AI. Like, you know what I mean? Like, because all these like problems, they say the only way AI is not going to ruin humanity is if humanity prevents itself from using AI to ruin humanity.
Which isn't when you can just wipe off the table.
Right. So you start to look at the world order being at stake and a couple of people's existential existences being at stake, and those people being in a lot of high power.
Yeah.
And like maybe could benefit and leverage AI. That seems scary to me.
100%. I mean, when the war started, you saw it. Like there were videos of Zelensky like surrendering. That were like being...
Oh, were there really?
That went viral like in local spheres, but...
I didn't know that.
It was still kind of early, I think, like even... Because like every month it gets another advancement. Like think about it, ChatGPT 3 came out in November, and now there's major Hollywood figures. There's whole industries that are involved in strikes and lawsuits kind of over AI.
Yeah. Totally. The writer's strike is a fascinating battlefront for it.
Yeah. And like, yeah, It's frightening. What's scary is the election's going to come before we make any precedent for like laws. Like these lawsuits won't get figured out before the election. No policy will come out before the election.
Yeah,
It's
that's the scariest thing.
we're
to
in
me.
the Wild West.
The election's just going to be like who can flood the storytelling space with the most influential storytelling.
Yeah, it's wild.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Anyways, you have show and tell or
Yeah, real quick. Okay, so I'm trying to start to read books again because just like backstory, Think and Grow Rich was like, I'm sure it could have been a multitude of books that I read just in that time of my life, but specifically Think and Grow Rich opened some doors in my head of just like how to think independently and just just find agency and like carve my own path. And I found Think and Grow Rich on a VHS
Nice.
audio. And for some reason, I think it's the coolest fucking thing. Like now,
you're supposed to put that in your living room and your VHS and just sit there and listen to it.
I are there words with it? Like, do you think there's a typography on the screen, like as he narrates it? That would be kind of cool.
I hope so.
Or are there pictures? I don't know. I'm curious to what the actual result is. But now I started thinking, like, I know there's records with Think and Grow Rich. Like Think and Grow Rich was an audiobook on records. So like now I want to find that. I want to own Think and
every
Grow Rich.
medium.
Yeah, in every medium.
See, I love that. There's like I was trolling Reddit today and Kansas City Reddit, and somebody was asking for a good place to buy VHS, which you need to go in there and say gnarly hustle. But there is like a growing trend of people buying this stuff, and I think that's cool. I think it's a cool thing to buy.
Yeah. It did make me feel excited, and it sat there like on top for a long time. So like it's certainly not a, renowned thing. I don't know. It's cool. I love it.
Cool. All right. Well, hey, August 12th, we are going to have our next Gnarly Market. That is Saturday, August 12th. We're going to have Justin Ra, Jamogi, and Phantom Sam as our live music. We're going to have a bunch of great vendors. Our Chiefs drop. We've got a couple of nice baskets of Chiefs stuff waiting to be unveiled and sold to you. And it's going to be a great day. So come on out and kick it with us 12 to 3. We're also going to have a potluck that day. It's going to be our tailgate preseason. What do we call it? The tailgate training camp. That's what it is. Tailgate training camps. We're going to have tailgate games, have a lot of fun, bring just a side or a dish, something to drink, and hang out with all the gals and pals of the Gnarly Hustle universe. Should be a fun time.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
August 12th. And then September 16th, we're going to do it again. And then October 21st is Gnarly Halloween. 10 bands, 10 frickin' bands here doing a giant Halloween fest. Vendors, the whole shebang. We'll do the whole thing again. So mark that in your calendars. Anything else you got before we boot and scoot and boogie?
No, that's it.
All right. See you soon.
Peace.